It's been 6 months, a little over 6 months, since I had Natasha on as a guest again, or before. And we're going to probably talk about a lot of stuff what's transpired in the last 6 months. And she can tell me where she's been at in between that, and how she's enjoyed what she's doing, who she's meeting with. And without further delay, welcome Natasha Owens.
Hello, thank you for having me again.
Thank you for coming back on. It's been a long 6 months. There's a lot that's happened, uh, especially the big new beautiful bill, and of course, trying to take care of Iran to not get to where they want to go. So let's just go back a little bit. Tell the audience how you started and what got you in from a Christian singer songwriter to a political singer songwriter.
Boy, that's a long story. Let me see if I can do it very quickly. Set in my career, had my two boys. We had our business at that time, and my dad in 2010 was cleaning his gun, sitting at a table. A bullet came out, hit him in the heart, and he was gone. And I struggled with his death. I struggled trying to be strong, and I downspouted with the words that I spoke. Our words are so powerful, according to the scripture in Proverbs. It says we have the power of life and death in our tongue. And so I didn't deal with it very well. And in the midst of my depression, my pastor called and wanted me to be the music minister. And I just didn't feel like I had it in me. I didn't have anything. I didn't have enough strength to get out of bed most days. And so he kept calling, and he called on a day that saved my life. Music pulled me out, gave me a second chance, and I wouldn't be alive today if it wasn't for God crossing my path when he did. So that was a training ground. That stage on that church was a training ground for what I started doing professionally. I really didn't want it because I struggled with severe anxiety, and it was a hard thing for me to get over in that music minister position. And so God illuminated this path, and I started walking in the professional world. My story is very backwards. How, people in Nashville thought that I didn't earn um, kind of the path that I was walking because it happened backwards. My first concert was on a massive stage with Michael W. Smith. And within a month's time, I'm traveling with Grammy winners. And, that didn't happen like that, but God was in it. And so I did 4 albums in contemporary Christian. That brings us to 2020. Well, back up to 2016, 17. We were invited by the Trump administration to be a part of the faith initiative group, that they were inviting anybody that had a stage that could get out things that he was doing, because the media was not sharing all the good things that President Trump was doing. So we were a part of that for the last 3 years of his administration, and that's what crossed my path with politics. Although I never thought I would swing into a political music world. Um, but yet again, God orchestrated and kind of illuminated my path. So in 2020, I thought at that time the climate was very anti American. They were burning flags. It was the BLM movement. All these things were happening at the same time. COVID came in, the first time in my lifetime, I had seen our freedoms completely infringed upon by our local governments. And so I thought, let's do a patriotic album that illuminates how great this country is with all of its faults. It's still the lighthouse on the hill. And let's give back to our veterans, because our freedoms are being grabbed at the time, and our freedom is the most expensive thing that we own, should be the last thing that we give up. And I was seeing people around me in my community begging for the government to take away their freedom in order for a false sense of security. Ronald Reagan was the one that said, when the government shows up that says they have a solution to a problem, then you need to run, because it always leads to a freedom grab. So we thought, let's just do that and honor our troops. And I started on a kind of a patriotic walk. On stages with like Toby Keith singing to Vietnam vets, veterans, military soldiers, families of first responders. And that was a little bit different world for me. I kind of jetted off of the contemporary Christian road for a moment, but I was planning on coming right back, because I love the ministry. I love giving people hope and telling them how great God is and how great God loves them. Um, but I haven't quite gotten back there, because my my story took a detour. I did not realize, because I don't live in Nashville, I live in the great country of Texas, that Nashville is very woke and progressive as an industry, and so are a lot of the musical artists there, both country and Christian. But I do think the Christian industry is a little bit worse. Um, anyway, for a lot of reasons, and we can get into that. But they frowned upon my patriotic album, and I started getting a lot of headwinds toward that. But the thing that shocked me the most was there was a pro-life song that I put on that album called Stand for Life, and that was the thing that got, I say, gets me kicked out of contemporary Christian, because um the radio stations were boycotting me, the promoters were firing me off of events, I had artists that didn't want to have anything to do with me. And my husband had been saying for 2 years I needed to do a Trump One song. And I said, I'm not touching that. I won't be able to go back to Nashville. They hate Trump as an industry. And if I show my allegiance to that side, I was just very kind of weak at the time. Well, when the industry did that to me, my husband said, Tosh, do you really want to be a part of an industry that doesn't stand up for life? And that was an easy question to answer. I said, no, I don't. Now is the time to veer. So we did a Trump One song that exploded, went to number one, even with tech suppression, got out to the masses around the world, and got me to a different platform. The media deemed me the next Lee Greenwood. So that's kind of the route that I have been walking. I'm not associated with a genre, which means I can do any type of music. And I've been hitting topics of what I think is truth, that we need to illuminate, topics that are too controversial, that the church isn't talking about, or the majority of people just don't want to, they want to toe that line and straddle that fence. And those are the topics that I think needs illumination. If they are censoring us and telling us we can't talk about it, or the liberal left is attacking us when we talk about certain topics, those are the topics that need to be illuminated with truth. If we're not allowed to talk about them, I want to give you an anthem where you can sing them, because a song is covered by a different level of protection. So that's kind of how I veered off of contemporary Christian into this political world. And we just continue to walk it until God tells me to get off of it.
Well, very, very amazing. And Natasha has quite a few political songs. I probably have listened to every one of them. And when I held a rally in Peoria in September of last year, I did play your songs.
Oh, yay.
Okay. And most of the people hadn't heard them. You
They're
know,
fun. They're fun,
they
and
are
they
fun.
give people happiness. I mean, people, their entire face changes when they're watching a video or hearing this song. I've seen it 1,000 times. And I'm glad to get to give a little bit of hope and humor, especially when we were in a dark world when I started the political songs. We were living in the last years of the Biden administration, and we all remember how that was.
Right. Especially in, I had I made a comment and that we had the newspaper there that day. Woo. And I said, Trump's doing God's work. And they put that in the front page of the newspaper. And it's
Of
like,
course.
they try to make it look bad because, yeah, Trump is doing God's work. And I wish I would have planned a little bit and I would have brought your song on The Chosen One. Okay.
That one changed everything. That one was the first time the liberal left thought they had a contemporary Christian Trump supporter that actually misstep and did something wrong. So they were advertising that song for me. My timing, you can consider it good or bad. I think it turned out very well, because I put out the song. I began to see that President Trump, nothing was sticking to him, and that there had to be a divine hand that was protecting and guiding him. He is doing the work of Christ. He has done the work of Christ. He's the most pro Christian, pro life, pro Israel president of our lifetime, and that is the work of Christ. And so I that went out, and boy, I took a bloodbath, but I doubled down and said those exact words that I just said. And 3 weeks later, the assassination attempt happened. on his life in Pennsylvania. And suddenly everyone was calling him the chosen one. You know, that's a controversial title, and I did it that way on purpose. But when you listen to the song right out of the gate, I'm not saying he's the Messiah. I'm just saying that an imperfect man can be used by a perfect God.
Well, that's how Jesus picked his people. They were all imperfect.
Right.
So, I mean, of course, people say Trump is not, religious or faithful, but
Oh, yes, he is.
you know him personally, and I want you to put it out there to the people how Trump is and his faith, and this way we can sort of slap the left side of around a little bit, and that he does have Christian values, uh, and I mean, how many people would almost get assassinated,
Yeah.
stand up, put his fist in the air, and still continue doing what he's doing?
That's
Uh,
boldness. It's boldness, and it's God that gives that boldness. You know, he has the people don't realize that he has the foundation of God all in his lineage. When he was inaugurated the very first time, the Bible that he put his hand on was his grandparents' Bible. They started the Scottish revival, which just look into that. That was a massive movement for Christ in Scotland. And so he has that lineage. And you know, I mean, like all of us, we stray in our younger years, and we fail every day. We're not perfect, right? But one thing is for sure from knowing the man, he loves this country, and he loves God, and he loves his family, and those are the principles that this country was built upon. I've been in rooms where he has cried and said that he can't leave this country. Without a leader that has boldness, you know, and he's not going to stop. He could sit down and not get his presidential libraries and his book deals and be left alone in peace to retire. But he said, I cannot leave this country. I know that they're trying, it's a spiritual warfare where they're trying to pull God out of the fabric of it, and I'm not going to allow that to happen. I've sang at Mar-Lago on a concert on the lawn, and he's on the front row, and I sing my Stand for Life song, and he bawls. I mean, tears coming down his face. He loves the things that are dear to God's heart, and babies and freedom, and all these things are dear to God's heart. So I would challenge anybody that says he's not religious, that he's an imperfect man, but he loves God, and he tries to do the right thing every day.
well, I agree with that because people don't realize in the Bible when Jesus went into the market or the area and they were having a market in there and
Yeah.
he tore the market up. And that's standing on values. I
He
mean,
sure did.
disrespecting. Right.
He sure did it. My husband loves to tell this story because he says if you look at it, he left and he created a whip. He made a whip. He didn't have a Whips or Us or a store where he could go buy one. It took many, many, many hours, and God still came back with that anger. There is a side of God that is as gentle as a lamb, but there's a side of him that's like a lion. And I see that boldness of God in President Trump. You
I
know,
do
he's
too.
also referred to as the lion a lot. So
Yep. I call him Teflon Don. That's my
nothing
nickname,
sticks.
Teflon Don. Uh, so, I'm going to play a song here real quick, and it's sort of tells you what where Natasha mindset is about how we are on the Trump side of Trump. And I love it. It's called The Party People.
It calls out the rhinos.
Yes, it does. And,
Some of them. I didn't have time for a 27-minute song, but it calls out some of them.
yeah. All right. So we're going to go ahead and play that song. And I love it. And if you feel like dancing and shaking your body while you sing it or playing it, go ahead because that's what it's about. And here it is.
Deep state, gonna deep state. Can I get a rebate on my vote? You better listen, you baby kissing, dirty politician in your turncoat. You say you're in it for the country, but you're in it for the money. Party people in the house, put your confusion with some wallets getting fatter. Party people in the house, put your hands up high. I can't tell the difference from the left to the right. Elephants and asses who don't know good from evil ain't my kind of party people. Party people, we're taking back the USA. Party people, party people, party people, cue the DJ. Party people, party people, we're taking back the USA. Party people, party people, party people, cue the DJ.
Here.
Wow, that's Natasha Owens, and our Party People song is a very dance and move. I like the way you put cue the DJ, and just give a quick trip on how you, or a quick input on how you got cue the DJ. I know
Well,
I heard it before.
yeah. So, of course, that's his initials, Donald J. Trump. But when you're at Mar-a-Lago, he said in an event one time, and I thought, he said that they allow him to DJ. And I thought, who's allowing him to DJ? That has to be a joke that I don't get. Well, he's got a restaurant at Mar-a-Lago that he goes and sits down and has dinner, and they give him an iPad, and he's meeting with somebody or eating, and he's scrolling through the iPad, and then he hits something, and then he goes back to eating, and he keeps doing this. Well, he's DJing at his restaurant. They're playing music, and it goes from Pavarotti to Michael Jackson to YMCA to whatever to Trump one, and he has a blast doing it. He loves music so much, and he loves doing that. So that's how I put that in there for everybody who knows him or knows that story, that cue the DJ, because that's what he loves doing, and he loves being called that.
Great. So now let's go back for try to cover this last 6 months in a little bit shorter time. There's a lot to cover,
Yeah.
but tell me, what is your biggest thing besides the big beautiful bill? We can touch that after your first. Besides that, that's happened in the last 6 months. Besides him being the president and basically making the U.S. red.
My goodness, every day I'm like, I'm not tired of winning. I'm not tired of winning. It started out on inauguration day when he said, I'm going to sign a bill today, an executive order that states there's just two genders, male and female. And I started screaming. And then he said, I'm signing an executive order where there's no more paper straws. And I thought that was amazing because I hate paper straws.
I do too.
So you name it. He has made this country, I feel, more safe. He is bringing justice back. There is so much to be done and so little time. Like, he is going at warp speed. We're not seeing everything he's doing behind the scenes, but it's a different world. Suddenly, LGBTQ stuff is being downplayed, and patriotic things are coming back. I mean, it's amazing how people just fall into line with what's popular, right? And even though I hate people who do that, I'm very thankful for it now because it feels like a different country than it did 6 months ago. So you name it, everything the man's done, I've been cheering behind the. Now, do I wish it could go a little faster? Yes, he needs to gut the problem out by the root, and he's got to do it very quickly, otherwise it will grow back. But he's working on it. I
Well,
believe that.
a lot of it's because Congress has to move a little bit faster instead of dragging their feet, because his executive orders need to be turned into law, and of
Yep.
course we all know only Congress can do that and back up his good progress. Uh, to me, one of the biggest things that I think he's done, besides the big beautiful bill, which the left are just tearing it apart and trying to say it's just terrible, is his stance on Iran. And I did a show with this about that topic, that it's Iran has had that issue with the nuclear weapons for years. Not only Trump has talked about it. If people review and go back, there's videos of it. You had Obama talking about it, and all the
Right.
past presidents, even uh, oh,
Pelosi.
Pelosi, but gosh, oh, Hillary Clinton. And she said in one of the comments, if necessary, she would obliterate it. So
Right.
when Trump goes in, drops 17 bombs, however much he did, they just want to dog him so darn bad. But the thing is, people don't realize is that with that uh, piece of paper they had,
Right.
that Iran wouldn't even let our nuclear inspectors go in there and inspect what's going on. Plus, their uranium is you're enriched more than what they basically need for nuclear power.
Right.
And
And if you look back at it, Hillary Clinton and Obama and Biden funded that. Funded that. They gave them so much money. They gave them uranium. Hillary Clinton did, as well as the Russians. All of that, they need to pay the piper. I'm ready to see perp walks on all of that. But Trump had enough backbone to come in and diffuse it very quickly, and it kind of they're it's not over yet,
mm-mm.
but they're at each side with this peace deal right now, and I pray that if anybody can bring it peace over there, it's Trump.
Well, I think it's coming close to that because, the thing is, what irks me and people about the attack that taken out the as much as we could of their abilities is that uh, he gave them 30 days notice,
Yeah,
and on
sure.
the 31st day, Israel went in there and started taking stuff out. And then he gave him another 2 weeks notice. Of course, 2 days after the 2 weeks notice came up, boom, here it comes.
Yeah,
And that's and then they turn that against him. Well, you don't want to tell your enemy exactly when and what it's going to happen.
yeah, right.
And I'd like, yeah, he'd notify who he needed to notify because the War Powers Act, and if you would have told a lot more of these people in Congress, it would have leaked.
Yeah, I agreed. Agreed. The Democrats didn't seem to know, and therefore that's why it didn't leak. Um, but he's got to diffuse it, and he's got to get peace very quickly. I mean, the MAGA movement, as well as the Democrats who voted for Trump, all have one thing in common, and they want peace. They do not want war. We're tired of Americans being killed in war. We're tired of being involved. Um, and that's what the cool thing is about Trump. I think he's trying to bring peace, and I hope that it works because I don't want it to be drawn into another conflict. He will lose a lot of voters for that,
Yep.
or
And
the
then I,
movement, not just him. He can't run again, but the movement will.
well, that I want to touch back on him running again. But I went to an IGOLD event. It's an Illinois Gun Owners Lobby Day down at Springfield,
Right.
and they had a main speaker, retired retired Lieutenant Colonel Dave Grossman, and what he said about evil. He goes, "What is the opposite of evil, and how do you cure evil?" And he wrote down there, "Love."
Yeah.
And then towards the end of it, in the speech, and of course, you're a very big Second Amendment person because of your song, Second Amendment Protects the First.
Right.
Okay. He said, and this was in May, and he goes, "There'll be a summer of rage." And he goes, "In the middle of a terrorist attack."
Yep.
Well, 2 weeks later, the rage sort of started more because of the Los Angeles stuff going on.
Right.
And that gives me goosebumps when I hear that yet. And I replay it. And it's like, you just get chills down your body. And
Yeah.
God
It's
forbid
the
we don't.
same playbook. It's the same playbook that they go over. I mean, if you just start paying attention, you'll guess what they're going to do next.
Yep. So going back to Trump, uh, now do you think the 4 years he wasn't president gave him a lot to think about and how to handle things differently?
Absolutely. I mean, my Trump One song is about the stealing of the 2020 election. Of course, more and more is coming out. Just last week, Cash Patel and the FBI brought tons of evidence of China being involved in it. But I'm so thankful that God knew what he was doing and allowed that to happen because we are in a better position now than we would have been 4 years ago, not only with Congress and with the Senate. I think he sat back and really understood who the enemy was And I think you can tell that by his picks of who he's picked for his cabinet. Now, do I think there's some wolf in sheep's clothing? Absolutely.
Yeah.
That need to go. There's several that need to go. But and I think Trump will get to that point. But he's much wiser than he was, and he knew exactly where to go for the jugular, which is the U.S. aid stuff. That was how they money laundered back to the Democratic Party, and all these liberal things were being funded. Now, as soon as they turn off U.S. aid, suddenly the Democratic Party is broke and they don't have any money. That tells you that was the source. So yes, I'm thankful. I'm thankful that it happened the way it did.
Right. Because I'm looking at the 4 years that he was in office, and with Biden there, oh my
Sure.
gosh, uh, that it really showed the good versus the evil out there.
Yeah, it did.
And that way it exposed it more. And then Trump gets reelected by a good majority. Of course, Biden supposedly got more votes than any other president,
Don't
you
lie.
know? And I think that was God's way to show, hey, there's too much evil out there. If
Right.
your kid's a boy, wants to be a girl, that's okay, and it can do it at a younger age, and all this. And to
Just
me,
the lunacy of it. And where's the church in this? You know, the church is not standing up for our children. I'm just absolutely shocked. So we
well, yeah,
decided to. And one of my last songs that I put out, we're standing up for the nuclear family.
I think I just heard that one the other day. You got to keep
Yeah.
me abreast of these new
Give me
songs
a
coming up.
cowboy.
Oh, I like that one too.
Yeah,
Okay.
that one talks about men can't have babies and there's two
Yes.
genders and all of that. So
So the thing is, there was a lot of good versus evil. Of course, I made that comment too, and or somebody did, and that made the newspaper too after my rally.
it's
but
true.
it,
It's a
it is
spiritual
true.
warfare.
Yeah.
It's not Republican, Democrat, red or blue. It's good versus evil at this point.
And the way I look at it, if you want to be the opposite sex, wait until you're 18, 20 years old, and don't expect you and I and the taxpayers to pay for it.
Exactly. I mean, it's the parent, it's parent abuse if it's done before then. It needs to be a conscious decision by the person. And, I could care less if you want to, cut off parts and make up yourself and dress up and all of this, that's fine. But at the end of the day, you're just a male or a female. And so don't make us buy the 427 genders or whatever we're up to. It's insane. Up until a few years ago, it was mental illness according to the psychologist books, and the trans movement is demonic. It's very different than the gay movement, and if I was part of the gay movement, I'd be really upset right now.
Yeah. And you're right. There is, it's totally different. Uh, and to me, and here's another thing in Illinois, I don't know if it's nationwide, and I know people, they have kids like they're 10 years old. In order to access their medical records, they have to get the approval of the child before that parent can access the medical
Insane.
records.
That's insane. Everything is moving, inch by inch closer, or foot by foot, really fast, closer to pedophilia. They want
Yes.
that child to be able to make their own decisions, supposedly. And, we have to protect our children. We, when did a parent stop protecting their child, right? It's just that tells you that evil is behind it.
And okay, what do you think of the current FBI report on the Epstein files?
Um, I think it was a huge mistake, and I feel that they better. Okay, so Trump ran on a platform of transparency, of making all of these things known. Pam Bondi gets in there and states she's seen the files, she's seen the thousands of hours of videos with children and just awful things. And then suddenly they come out and they want us to believe that Epstein did kill himself and that there's no list, there's no files, no nothing. It is a cover up, and Trump better get his hands around that. And I think these people need to be taken out of power if they're going to continue to do what the intelligence community has done for all these decades. It's a mistake.
Well, that's the thing. The thing is, Maxine, she's in prison because of it. If there's nothing there, why is
She
she
should
in
be
prison?
innocent, right?
Why is she in prison?
Yeah, yep,
It just,
exactly.
I
It's
mean,
so hypocritical. And the fact that they think that the American people is going to believe that, and that they're dumb enough to believe it, is an insult. They better retract and make it right quick, or Trump needs to put different people in power. I'm ready
Exactly.
for justice. I don't think Pam Bondi. I'm a friend of Pam Bondi. She's a fan of my music. I've always thought the world of her, but I don't think I haven't seen enough justice done. So I think he needs to think about maybe
Well,
replacing her
do you
soon.
think it's part of the deep state too?
Absolutely. I mean, when someone's threatened, their life's threatened. I'm not saying that's what happened, but it would make sense if they threatened her life or her family's life for her to retract. I mean, the intelligence community is very powerful. And this is one thing that I've worried about, even with the Iran situation. Trump can only make decisions based on the intelligence that's given to him, and we know that our intelligence community is corrupt. So, are they giving him good intelligence to make good decisions? Right. So I pray for him daily to have discernment and wisdom
I
when it
I
comes to
know
these
if I
matters.
ever had the chance to meet Trump, I'd shake his hand. I said, "You're one heck of a man,"
He sure
you know.
is.
But
Sure.
well, if that ever happens, it'd be an act of God. Uh,
Never say never.
well, you never know because I'm just a low man in the totem pole in this type of business right now.
Well, so
Uh,
was I, and God can open up doors very quickly.
uh, and you've heard about Illinois. I know. What do you think? Illinois sits there, and I know you're from Texas, different state. We do a budget, and immigrations, they can raise our taxes, okay, on they're raising cigarettes $1 a pack, they're raising gas tax again. They were talking about $1.50 delivery fee, but yet they can allocate $40 million to open a immigrant welcoming center in Chicago.
It's unbelievable. I mean, I'm one of these MAGA supporters that believes in America first. We give 95% of the giving around the world. If we're not healthy, nobody's healthy. And we have suffered. I mean, we have suffered. We've suffered at the grocery store, we suffer at the gas pump. Everything is so much higher. And you want to come to this country, come legally, right? Pay into the system that is, you know, that we're all a part of, instead of just taking. And you've got Mexico right now, Mexico City. They are chanting in the streets to kill gringos, and they don't like us
Yes,
coming to their country and changing their culture. Well, but they're also pissed that we are deporting the people who came here illegally. And if you talk to any legal immigrant here that I know of in my circle, and they're all hacked off at the way the government has treated these illegals. Um, our money needs to be for our vets, our homeless, our children, our families, and then we will provide for others. But you can't come in and break our laws and expect to stay and expect to siphon off this country. And I'm so mad at these states that are making their citizens suffer by giving free stuff. All they're doing is buying votes, and it should be illegal.
bingo. That's exactly what's going on because when they do the census, that does districting.
Right.
And I
Mhm.
heard that one of the congresswomen are talking about changing that and doing another census within a year or
Right.
right away. So I pray to God that goes through,
Yeah, me
because
too. I'm all for them coming here, but they need to kind of respect our culture, respect our traditions, respect our ways, and try not to change it. It just seems like we're changing everything according to, and even in Texas, I live in Dallas, and we are being inundated. It looks like it doesn't even look like America here in the big city, and I don't like that. I want it to look and feel like America. People are coming here for a reason, right? And we
yeah,
need to keep it that way.
but they sit there and then they protest. They burn our
Yeah.
American flag, which really irks me. I'm sorry,
They're
if
they're
you
raising the flag of the country they are fleeing from while
exactly.
burning the flag of the ones that they are begging to stay. It makes no sense at all. That tells you there's an agenda behind it. It's paid protesters is what it
Well,
is.
the American, well, yeah, there is. Soros is probably behind it. I heard he's been supposed to be called to Congress to testify, which I hope they do, and I would hope they really pry him open.
Right.
Uh, I know you're probably getting ready to do something else, so Natasha, let me tell you, uh, I'd like to go on and on and on, but you're a
A lot
busy
to
lady.
talk about. I know. I know. I do want to say, check out my song "Give Me a Cowboy." It's actually President Trump's one of his favorite songs right now. He plays Trump one on his airplane, but he also plays this "Give Me a Cowboy" too. And it just kind of talks about how we view men here in Texas, and what they live by the cowboy code, right? They
Well,
love this
Natasha,
country.
we're friends on Facebook, right?
I believe so.
Uh, if you want, I don't know if you have, join my Trump Facebook group,
Okay.
and you
Yeah,
can
I'll
post.
find it. I don't know if I have either.
I'll
I
try.
can
I can
send you.
send you the link to it.
Yeah, send me the link and
Okay,
I'll join it.
and put your
Um,
things out there. That's what this. That's what my Trump. I have 1,400 members, or 1,428, I think, members in my Trump Facebook group.
Amazing, amazing.
You
Yeah, I'll
know,
put that out there. And then I have a new song coming out in a couple weeks that is going to call out the hypocrisy in the climate topic. And it's really gonna. It's very clever done. It's called "Climate Change is Real," and then there's a surprise at the end of the course, adding the word "stupid." So, um,
I will. Let me know when that's out.
I will. I will. The music video is almost done, and we are launching with a press release as soon as we have the moment. So I will keep you posted. It's going to be really a good one to check out. It's a dance type music.
Great. And God willing, uh, since we mentioned this before we came actually on. Hopefully on September 18th of this coming year,
Yeah,
God willing, Natasha Owens will be in Peoria, Illinois.
I think that's pretty much a done deal. I think we have to sign a contract, and that's it. So expect me there on September the 18th. I'd love to meet you guys.
Oh, I'm willing. I can't wait to meet you. I mean, I think you're a wonderful person. You're down to earth, but you stand for what's right. And that's how I feel too. I stand for what's right. What's right is right. What's wrong is wrong.
That's right.
And this
And it's
good,
not the popular thing. People don't have the courage, and sometimes it's hard to stand up there alone. But if we can give a spark and courage to someone else to stand, then that's what it's about. It's worth
well,
it.
when just in church the other day on Sunday when we went, and our pastor, let me tell you, I can't let this go by. Our pastor is directly from Mexico. Okay. And he relates in church how things are in Mexico. And like he says, you should be glad we're here.
Yeah.
Okay. Because he went through the legal process and all that. In
Yeah.
fact, he had his mom here a few weeks ago on a visa. Of course, she could only stay for about 2 weeks because of the visa requirement. And this is what another thing people don't understand with these immigrants, they get their visas, it expires. Well,
Right.
once that expires, guess what? You're here illegally.
Yes, you are. And the last administration, they changed things so much to where it was 9 years before you could get in front of a judge. And those people, of course, in my view, they were here illegally after that visa expired. They looked at it, they were just waiting for a court date if they even showed up 9 years later.
Yeah.
But anyway, I'm hoping to fix, especially in Texas. We feel it every day. It's a part of our everyday life. From not being able to get into an ER to getting hit on the road and there's no insurance. Um, it affects our everyday lives, and it becomes a safety issue all the way around. So I'm proud of our state. I'm proud of President Trump that we're making it better.
Yep. So back to the church real quick. So he preached on Acts and about standing up. And that's how I feel I do. Because if something's not right, I stand up. And then you're doing the same thing. And it's right there in the book of Acts. And I think I forgot verse 12 to 36, something like that. Okay. So it was a good Sunday service. And I mean, so I know you got to go, but anyway, hopefully September 18th, we'll see you in Peoria, Illinois. And again, Natasha, what's your new song coming out, and when do you expect it to come out?
I'm expecting it to come out in the next 2 weeks. We are pushing this video guy. The video, of course, is going to make it. I have videos to almost all of my political songs. Just find them on YouTube. But hopefully in the next 2 weeks, it's called "Climate Change is Real." Dot dot dot. So I think that you're going to really enjoy the topic. You know, I know we need to be good stewards of our land, and I know that climate change is real because it changes, right? It changes over time. But the
Right.
power grab and the hypocrisy behind it is something that I wanted to highlight and start talking about. And we did it in a very fun way of calling out Al Gore, Bill Gates, and
Good.
Greta, and all of this, you know, just nonsense is what it is.
Well, you Facebook message me when that comes out. I want to be one of the first ones to hear
I will.
it. And then again, everyone, this is Natasha Owens, a Christian political song singer and songwriter from Texas. And real quick, about how many events have you been to?
Oh my goodness. Like, what are you talking about? Trump events, Mar-a-Lago events?
Well, political events.
Oh, thousands,
There you
absolutely
go.
thousands over the years. It's my world now, and it gets very interesting at times.
So there you go, everyone. She's all over the place, all over the United States. I think, didn't you go to Mexico, I think, and did
Yeah, a week and a half ago, I know the new U.S. ambassador to Mexico. He was the ambassador for El Salvador under the first Trump administration, and we met them because I got invited to President Bukele's inauguration in El Salvador. He's a fan of my music, and so we became friends. And I just got back from Mexico City, a beautiful city, by the way. I sang at the embassy for the big Fourth of July event, and got to stay at the ambassador's residence. It was pretty amazing. Like one of those
Ooh.
things that I'll never forget. So this is a movement that's beyond Trump. It's around the world of we the people against the elites, and you know, all these Trump-like figures. You know, Orban in Hungary, and Bukele in El Salvador, and Milei in Argentina, and you know, the list goes on and on. There's about 6 leaders that want me to do a song for them, give them their own like Trump one type song. So stay tuned for that. It's pretty cool to expand beyond the borders of the U.S. in a political realm, you know.
So now, as everyone knows, and she just said, Natasha Owens is pretty well going worldwide. Spread,
I
and
have.
it's like
I
spreading the word of God. You're spreading the word of the goodness of what this country can be with the right leader.
That's right. And people who follow my music go back and look at my other things, and I plant a seed with with my Christian music. So people who wouldn't ordinarily choose a church or choose Christian music, I'm bringing it to them in some way, and that's more fulfillment than anything to me.
And that's what we're supposed to do as believers.
All right, that's
So
right.
we'll leave that on a good note. I'm going to go ahead and do the closing and just talk to you real backstage real quick after it's done. And again, hopefully September 18th, we'll have you in Peoria. And
Yes. Can't
uh,
wait.
are you going to wear your colorful red, white, and blue dress?
I'm having more dresses made.
Jeez.
I have wore the ones out. I feel like I've worn them everywhere. So we'll see. Ain't no telling what I'm gonna have by then. I'm gonna have a climate dress and a Marines dress. I'm singing for the Marines, and
Good.
so you just never know what I'm gonna pop up there with.
All right. Well, we'll look forward to that date. Keep you advised. I know, talk to Will Diamond, the Peoria GOP, and your scheduler. What's his name again?
Brian
Demont?
Mays.
Yeah.
Well,
No.
Stefano's my manager.
Stefano. Stefano.
Yes,
Right.
Stefano's
Yeah.
my manager.
Yep. All right. Well, a great interview again. Wonderful having you on the guest. I just
Thanks for having me.
smile ear to ear, you know. And like I said, she's a wonderful lady. Listen to her songs. Like she said, they're on YouTube. Look up Natasha Owens, Natasha Owens, Owens, and listen to her songs. And if you feel like, download them, save them for later, and enjoy her songs. So right now, thank everyone. God bless. Let's pray for the world that we can get some type of peace, some type of agreement between Israel and Gaza and Iran, and make it safer. And God bless you all, and thank you.